Sure. My name is Rich Kang, and I'm launching the Next Shot Pro, which is a home golf chipping set. Um, and it's something that I've kind of had in the back of my head. I had this idea back in 2017. Um, this is actually This is actually my second Kickstarter. We
Okay.
did launch a similar, almost like a version one of this product. But I basically took the product, made some adjustments, made some upgrades, rebranded, and now I'm relaunching.
Gotcha. How'd that first campaign do? What was the status on that?
So we basically went in not really knowing much about Kickstarter. We knew what Kickstarter was, but then didn't really do the due diligence leading up to the project, pre-marketing, all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
So our campaign did ultimately fail. We did raise a decent amount, but our goal was also much higher.
Yeah.
So that's another thing that we can discuss that I've
Yep.
kind of learned and adjusted this time around.
Okay. Cool. That's all good to know. All right. Well, let's share some screens here. Let me jump into it. Hit the old button here. All right. Do I got the right Kickstarter campaign?
Yeah.
All right. I did it. I did
Nope.
it. Yeah. Whoa. Yeah. So cool. Awesome. Yeah. So like I said, I've looked at this just kind of briefly, kind of just going through it real quick.
Mhm.
But my goal here is to kind of walk through it as, how an average person might look at it.
Right.
So let's jump into it. So, you've got your title up here, obviously all great. I still think that this secondary line is super important. This kind of really sums up what this project is. So,
Okay.
my opinion, I think this could be fleshed out a little bit more. Just something that's a little bit more
Sure.
grabby, probably a little bit more marketing-esque, for lack of a better term. But just, you know, hey, this is what you're going to do with this thing. It's going to improve your golf game. This is fun at a party.
Right.
Your next part, whatever it is in your mind, that's that section that probably it should be in there.
Gotcha.
And then I noticed, I thought there was a video here the other day. Did that change? I
There
thought I
was,
saw.
and there should be.
Okay. Yeah. I don't have a
I
video there anymore.
actually did a last minute update, but that should have saved.
Yeah. So I remember clicking on a video. So no video right now at the moment. There was one buried below that we'll get to in a second, but yeah, definitely. I think this hero image is actually good. The only thing I would look at is there a hero image that you could show somebody potentially using it, which is challenging, I know.
Hmm.
But maybe thinking about it in its exact, in like, if you have a Venn diagram of your audience, who is using this product, whether it's
Right.
I don't know, I have this in my office here. It's like it's like the basketball hoop on the back door, or if it's something that
Hmm.
I'm actually training. I think that's a lot of my questions that I have is I don't know if this is a training thing for golfers, if this is just a fun thing in my office that I'm just, for my board, or if this is like a party favor thing. And it might be all of those, but I think
Right.
it's important to sort of identify, like, this is our core audience. You're going to get this thing to become better at chipping, right? Or whatever it
Right.
is.
Yeah.
So like a lot of that is probably what my theme's going to be, because every time I go through it, I'm like, I can't exactly know who that is right now. So, I think that hero image it's good right now. I would still look at
Hmm.
what else, could there be a shot of whatever that like main person is in the Venn diagram? Because then you start to imagine, if you are running traffic and let's just say you're sending a professional golfer, and they get
Right.
here and it's a picture of party dudes with it. Well, wait, that doesn't line up, or whatever it is,
Right.
whatever the format
Yeah.
is. But
Yeah.
just really thinking about how important that is, and then also that's what's being shared on all. If anybody hits share, that's what's going out to other people's pages too. So you want to make sure that they're getting it right away.
Right.
So hero image, really, really important. And then other thing is up here. And then it looks like obviously you've adjusted your goal down to like a number where you can hopefully hit it as soon as possible.
Hmm.
I'm assuming that's what you're doing there.
Yeah.
And yeah, for a product like this, I would be between 10 to 15,000 would probably be my public goal. Publicly, internally I might
Yeah.
obviously have a much different goal,
Right.
but publicly, yeah, probably somewhere in that window. And again, you're coming out of the gate crushing that thing in the first hour, 2 hours, 5 hours, whatever it is, but you want to just make sure you're crushing it. So
Right.
yeah, so let's kind of keep going further. Cool. yeah, so this is good. Got a nice image up here. Again, I would still look at a potential image of exactly what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is and then like this image throws me a little bit because now this one feels like a part, like a board thing. So this, I think when I
Right.
saw this image, now I go back to like, oh, it is like a fun thing just to have around the house, and it's in the backyard, and I grab my putter or my 9-iron, and I chip and I putt or I just chip around and do stuff. So yeah, so I would again think about that image. Just gonna go through some of this text here. The other thing too is like I would probably have a GIF. I don't. If you saw the other one, I mean, I'm going to reference this campaign page
Okay.
again. I don't know if you're familiar with it or not, but it's called Hitch. It's a really, really good page, and obviously it's doing very well. But
Mm-hmm.
its core of like this image, I don't need to say anything, and you get it. Like I can shut up and you get it, right?
Mm-hmm.
What is this in your world? Because that if I'm here and let's say I watch 30 seconds of your video, which is an eternity on here, right? Maybe 40
Right.
seconds. My next
Yeah.
thing is right here. So that's where that next image, like there's an image here, but I really like this image has to, man, that you have to get it. Like
Right. Yeah.
so you start to see why that is that next important one. And again, a GIF like this in your world, I think would be something to really strive for, of like, throw these two things down, step 10 feet apart, swing. Ball
Mm-hmm.
goes here, eagle. Ball goes here, birdie. Right? I think or like something along those lines. That, man, I mean, I know this is just a water bottle, but you get it. Like, okay, cool, I got it. Then I have that sort of easy text, which I think you have. I mean, you pretty much have this. I mean, it's probably this line with a little bit of this,
Mm-hmm.
as that sort of next one down. And then I do like this. But so this one goes back to me being confused because I know who Ben Hogan is. So like, oh, so I'm actually working on my chipping game. So it's not a party thing. So like,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
yeah. So yeah. And then when I think the other two, then I got into, so yeah, improving, yeah, the benefits. So you're improving a lot of stuff. So I got that. And then here I was like, oh, wait, there actually is a gameplay. So do you see where my mind keeps jumping between these two? And I don't think that's a good spot to be in for Kickstarters. It's really specific as to like, you are buying this to play at your house. You are buying this to improve your game, improve your short game. My gut
So the
tells me
way
that
I've been marketing this is that it's been a game improvement, like chipping game, right?
Okay.
So I do want people. So and that's kind of like that's been something that I've been almost wrestling with internally, because it definitely does help you with your chipping, but at the same time, I don't want it to be a boring thing where they're just like, oh, if that's all it is, I don't want that, because there's so many other golf games out in the market that I wanted to say, hey, look, you can also have fun with it while you improve your chipping.
Mm.
So I think maybe that message is being a little like, yeah, my page might be a little schizophrenic in that sense, where I'm not honing in on exactly what it is, and I'm trying to be two things, but
Yeah. Well, so I would look at, and again, this starts to get into like product design and all that sort of stuff, but
right.
it's really it's just it's just Kickstarters are so focused. People do not have the time to think, oh, I could do two of these. I could do a bunch of different ways with this thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it just becomes, because I'm the guy like in our company who runs all the pay-per-click, and I'm like putting in this interest targeting, and I don't want to send traffic to something where they're not going to get it. It's a waste of money, right? So
Right.
and again, thinking about, man, I got potentially 20 seconds to get it, maybe 30,
Mm-hmm.
and really this video like reinforces the fact that I feel like I get it. Like, oh, that's cool. I want to reinforce it. I want to see myself in it. So so is there a way that, let's say you're in your Venn diagram, you're focused, and I'm just going to use like, let's say you're going with, this helps your chipping game, right?
Right.
Ben Hogan says your chipping is the most important part of the game, whatever, right? Some quote, that like,
right.
And then is there a stretch goal or something that that if you hit this other target, you can also get this accessory that turns it into a great party game or something to take to the beach, like the shot you have down here? Like, is there something that distinguishes it by another thing happening? Like, okay, this goes in your backyard to help your chipping, but if you get the carry-all bag, it's great to take to a party. So, but we don't do the travel bag unless we hit X amount of dollars. You know what I mean? Like, is there a way to distinguish it to somehow that shows these other things could happen, but they're really not your core? Something along those lines. I don't know. That's kind of some brainstorming quickly on the fly, but.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great thought. Unfortunately, I included the carry case into the set, and I've already let the audience know that. So that's.
Yeah, so I don't. It may not be the right
You're
answer.
Just hypotheticals. Yeah,
hypotheticals. But is there a this may be too crazy, but is there an app that goes with it that turns it into a game? That
right.
That if you use
definitely.
a trackable ball, I don't know, and that's it's now your product design just goes crazy or whatever. But like,
right.
it's real. We just always are very cautious when we have a two-headed monster of like, it could be all of this stuff. Well, if it could be all that stuff, then it isn't really anything. Is what I'm truly getting at.
Gotcha.
So I think that's where, and I think without that defined, that's where the page, and you mentioned it is a little sporadic for me. It's kind of bouncing a little bit. And again, I think, the lack of movement on the page in general. Let's go back over here. I mean, let's go to this top one. I mean, again, GIF, you get it. And then boom, GIF, right?
Yeah.
All of this movement, I'm getting it. And then I think this is a big one here too. Big old pre-order button. So again, imagining this, I'm on the page, right? I might click on the video for a couple minutes, right? I watch a little bit. All right, what's this? Oh, I like this. Boom, get it. Oh, I can order it right now. And this pre-order button, all it's doing is it's taking you to the reward page. If you were to buy, right? If you were to hit back this project, you'd grab that URL and you put it as a pre-order page. So again, you're giving that, and if you're thinking of these are like maybe like 3 sections, like section 1 is hopefully selling it, pre-order button. Section 2 might be, the story behind it, pre-order button. Section 3 might be your story. I've made 10 products. I do this, whatever.
Yeah.
Pre-order now button again, right? So at every section, there's sort of this ability to, to buy now, right? To pre-order it right now. So let's go back up here, tab. So we're at here. So tab, got some images. First balance alignment cut. Yes, I don't really know what that is. I don't really. So like this.
So I guess that second image, might show it a little better.
So what does it do? I guess so at this point, I would be asking, as somebody who golfs, what is this representing to you? Like, what was it doing?
So for this product, I'm not trying to say that your goal is to chip it into that cup on the fly, right? That's not the goal here. The goal here is to work on a chip shot, which mainly entails like a bump and run or some sort of like target zone area when you're chipping onto a green. So if your trajectory or if your distance control is off, you're gonna bypass or overshoot or undershoot that alignment cup. So if you have the right trajectory and the right target, then you'll hit onto the long turf and then you'll bounce into the cup essentially. Okay. And then that will translate to the course and get you closer to the hole.
Gotcha. Are you a golf pro or a golf expert at all or anything like that?
I'm not a golf expert now. Okay.
So you explaining that probably doesn't have as much weight as somebody who's at your your golf pro, semi golf pro, whatever. I'm not talking about like a big, huge name, but even like a golf caddy or golf pro. And I say this because I work on golf clubs, very high end golf clubs. And if your audience then is it's not the person just learning how to golf. It's not a pro golfer. It's somebody who's trying to improve their game now, right? Like, okay, yeah, I got to hit it here. I'm working. Like, I would actually say this. I might be your audience. I'm working on the bump and run things, right? I'm trying to hit it just before on that rough, so it it gets right up to the pin, right? I'm working on that. So now I think for me to feel comfortable that this product would help me get that, I kind of need to hear the person say that, right? Like,
Right.
hey,
You get that validation.
Right. Hey guys, this is I'm Tiger Woods caddy. I've been caddying for 20 years, and we shave off. We're always working on our bump and runs. I don't know, whatever. That image. So, that would, because this is a little confusing for me. So I get what you're saying. Totally get it. How do you now present that to somebody? In a bite-sized chunk, which is tough, right?
Exactly.
Bite-sized chunk. There's a way to do it. It's just how do you do it? And what else it might be? If you're kind of good at that, maybe it's you on a course whenever they open again, or if they are open where you are, just literally being like, watch, boom, short here, that's what I'm working on here. That's what I'm trying to get to is this thing happening. So yeah, there's that. This was my other one too. So I think, I don't remember this video being here, but this video is here now. One of the things so I'm on a MacBook Pro 15-inch, right? So pretty standard. If I was on a 13-inch, the issue would be even more of a problem. Well, I don't see I have to scroll to like.
Yeah, to see the top of it.
So I'm not on mobile. I would check it on mobile, but this sort of vertical. So like because if I click this and I'm watching it right now, I actually don't even see what it does. So like I wouldn't know I gotta scroll back up, and now I'm missing the swings.
Right.
So I would definitely look at how you're cropping that content. And again, because most people have no idea what they're doing, they're not scrolling up. They're not they're not looking. So so I definitely would think about that. And then we get back into, so we just got through you talking about how you're bumping and running and you're working on that and that. But then I don't know what the birdie and eagle. Walk me through what your mind is here. Like if I land here, it's a par. So am I playing a game with somebody? What am I doing here with like challenging my friends and family and stuff?
Right. So then at this point, if you want to turn into a gameplay, there's three methods of scoring. So the bottom section would be a par. If you get into the top section, that's a birdie. And then if you get into the cup, then it'd be an eagle.
Okay.
And then if you miss the board, anything not on the board, you get a bogey.
Gotcha. Are the and they're regular golf balls? They're not a special size kind of golf ball? Like if I'm doing this in my house, or is this
So they are, it's called Psycor, and they're made by a swing coach club. And it's a practice ball. It's like a dense foam practice ball, and they call it a real feel ball.
Gotcha.
So I've been in contact with them, and I have kind of like this partnership to have them supply the balls into the set.
Yeah, so that's that. I don't know if I remember. I'm asking that I don't remember. Is that
you get to the balls?
Oh, there it is. Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. Cool. Okay. Cool. What'd you say?
I need to turn the volume down on my videos.
Yeah. So is it? The bag. Okay. So I think these types of videos, I don't know how much value they add. What I would be looking at is instead of having a techno beat song that on it, if there was more like almost like a stop motion with like an arrow that says, put your bat, store in here, can store up to 10 balls. I don't know, easy carry all. So again, it might have a song behind it, but the song isn't this like, that sort of thing. It's just like, it's and again, might even be more of a GIF. So let's go back to like, something like that. Like, could you put the stuff in, store here, carry away, right? Like, I mean, I probably just described 15 seconds tops of, or put
Right.
it in, but you get it, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I even think too, you might be having shots like this of moving it. Is it really heavy? Like, is it, and it doesn't seem like it, but again, trying to imagine the average person, right? So like,
Right.
is there shots of like, your kids picking it up and moving it? So, oh, that's not very heavy. Does it have some weight to it? Um, you know, shots of playing the game, maybe like of a family playing it. Like I could see, now I'm go back. If it's a game, my son's 9. He doesn't like golf because it's not cool right now. He will at some point because I play, so like,
Right.
would we have a family night where, he's getting a birdie and giving yeah, that was awesome. Like, I don't know. Is there a custom scorecard that comes with it or something that you can print off, or, like, so that if it is a game, there is something to it,
Right.
like, it's a family night thing that we're doing. I don't know, it kind of feels like we just bought a 7-foot basketball hoop, right? It's like the next size up so that he can, feel like he's actually playing.
Yeah.
So like, is there a, hey, you're playing this thing. You're learning how golf is scored, because I can tell you, if I told him about it, he'd be like, I don't know what a birdie is. No, I don't give. He wouldn't care,
Yeah.
But yeah, you can see another pre-order button. So then you can get into the why did we, and I think I don't remember too much around that. Do you have much of the how you got into this?
So I have like the backstory, like the
Is that up here, this thing?
the origin story. Yeah.
So I would keep burying that. That is like people really getting into the weeds. Yeah, I'd even probably shorten up some of this text. Just very few people are going to be reading.
Right.
And these are the iterations. Is that what that?
So these are all the different turf samples and iterations that I've tested, just to kind of show that, I didn't just grab any type of turf. Yeah, I was very particular about the type of response that the turf would give. Different balls that I've tested.
Yeah, so like this right here, this might be like a 30-second video of you actually like kneeling down and rubbing your hand, like maybe your hand goes over it and be like, you see, here's what I didn't like about this. This was my first one. This, when the ball hit here, it wasn't a real natural feel. Then I went to this one. Like, this could be where you have that sort of 30-second video of like, hey, this, because to me, I almost wonder now, as I'm looking at it, going, I'm going to I have choices at the end of this. I'm going to pick, I want this one here, and this one here. And I don't think that that's what you're doing, right?
I'm saying I've tested all this stuff out, and from here we've ended up with the winners.
Yeah. So again, maybe finding a way to sort of tell that a little bit differently, and it just, it might just be like your hand going over it, because I'm assuming that like some of this is that cheap AstroTurf or something that like you can get at like Home Depot, or it's just like, well, that's not it. And then I'm sure it's not like real grass at like a college football stadium. That stuff, right? Like with the tires below it. Is it?
No.
Like, what is it? Yeah.
No. Yeah. It's just a higher density turf now. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, and honestly, well, this will be a little cautious because this isn't yours, right?
So this isn't mine, but I have talked with them, and they did give me approval to put their assets on the page, and they actually asked, like, as long as I'm going to be supplying this, that I kind of promote their product as well. So
yeah, I mean, the ball is an interesting thing, because the question I asked you is probably going to be a big question in your FAQs. Is, I'm not swinging a real golf ball, am I?
Right? Yeah.
And just remembering that how many people are trolls and assholes. So like, I'm not swinging a real golf club. So like, This will probably be moved way up higher than you
Way
think,
up.
just because
Yeah.
people are just going to instantly, like, I deal with trolls like all day on Facebook of like, no, I would just cut the thing. It's like, it's cut resistant. Like, we didn't think of that. Just whatever, right? Like, just,
Yeah.
so more than likely this is going to be moved up. And then I would also imagine that there's probably, if they don't have it, some content of you like holding it to like a real golf ball, or having, again, somebody else like, hey, hold this and hold this. Oh, this one's softer, but it feels like a real, like,
Yeah, so
again,
I was gonna do
give
a
away.
bounce comparison, like dropping,
There you
like
go.
almost like a drop
Yep.
test of this one and like a typical cheap practice foam ball.
Yep.
To really show how much it bounces for the cheap practice one, and this one has like a impact resistant.
Yeah, that would be great. I think the other two, what was I used to have when I was practicing when I was a kid, was like almost like the wiffle ball ones.
Yeah.
That's what my dad made me practice on.
I have a
outside,
bucket
like,
full of every practice ball out there right now.
yeah. So I can almost tell you that's going to probably be higher than you think.
Okay.
Yeah, there we go. This is all right. Yeah, that's the stand, right? Yeah. So again, that would probably be a much bigger gift. Like, I don't know, it's pretty small right now in terms.
I've been trying to work out, how to make that larger.
Yeah. Okay, and then this, I would, because of this type of product, I would really focus on your timeline because of number one, COVID, the world.
Right.
Two is, you've got, there is a lot more stuff in here. So it could be like the first, prototype 1 done, prototype 2, reimagine, partnership with the balls, really use this timeline to show.
Oh, gotcha.
What's actually been happening.
Okay.
And even this, like, start production, but that's pretty vague. So it might be like, first order should be coming in, prototype delivered here, approval process done, and then we're going to send it out. So again, just, it's the right idea.
More
it's
steps.
just put some steps into it. So again, you're trying to really make people feel very, very confident right now that you're going to be able to deliver a product in this market.
Sure.
And then the bottom's all right. Yeah. And then let's go back to rewards. So I don't think we went through that. So we've got,
I don't, yeah.
Or is that the ballpark of Kickstarter price there? Or is that,
so that's the 40% off VIP early subscriber price.
Okay. Gotcha. So, but theoretically your Kickstarter price would be what, 150? That's like
be 133 would be the Kickstarter.
133, this one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to show you this last one and then I'll wrap up here. So a really very specific graphic around what these rewards are. Choose your rewards, for, you might have you can just get the balls or something like that. Maybe, I don't know, but boom, saving this, boom, saving this, like, okay, I get it. I'm going to buy 2 of them next, just that plain, so whatever those rewards are, a very simple image that tells that person exactly what they're getting and how much they're saving by doing it. And then the only other thing is, I don't know if there's any sort of stretch goals or add-ons that you are thinking about.
So I do have add-ons. I will have a like a net, like a backer net.
Oh, cool.
And then also a ball tray.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Yeah. So those add-ons would so I guess my question was, do I have those add-ons in here, or I guess Hitch shows the add-ons on here.
I would have my add-ons right away. And that's encouraging people to say, okay, cool, I'm going to come in at one, whatever it is. I'm going to come in at 114, but I'm actually going to back for 150 because I'm going to add the net or whatever your prices are.
Right.
So and then the last thing I think you really got to be thinking about too is how Kickstarter works. I can't stress this enough. Nobody knows how it works. Even if they've backed before, they probably didn't know then either. So like, how select a reward, enter your payment, add how to do your add-on. We just talked, like you and I just talked about it very quickly. The average person has no idea. It's not a shopping store. So, add $20 to your pledge, just select the reward level, add $20, like
Yeah.
And if you think that you have done enough, you might want to do a little bit more.
A
So
little bit
like
more.
even for us, we'll put like a chat bot that says, it's like a customer service chat bot. Push this button, it sends you to Facebook Messenger, and then we use a tool called ManyChat to build out a chat bot that like, hey, did you push the green button? The
Yeah.
button, this
Just
project, did you
gonna walk
push it?
through.
Like,
Yeah.
because they don't know. They just don't know, and that's fine. But and yeah, and that's that's pretty much it. You've got all the other elements. I think it's just if there's a team, I think team that shares, and then big buttons like this. We put this stuff on all of our campaigns. Your press kit.
Yeah.
And then but this is one of those. I mean, it's a project that it will work on Kickstarter. It's just I think you've got to really find and hone, find who that audience is, so that it's a clear cut message. This is what you're buying this for. So
Gotcha.
yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I'll open up any other questions you can think of that I can kind of answer.
No, I mean, if anything, I just want to thank you for inviting me to do this, because it definitely has been educational, helpful. Yeah, there's definitely a lot more that needs to be done on this, but no, I mean, if anything, I just want to say thanks.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, I mean, you're in the ballpark. It's like now you're refining and tweaking and adjusting and getting this thing to where, and I'm sure you don't want to raise just 10 grand. I've done product launches, so I know 10 grand is actually probably more. If you were to raise 11 grand, you probably have a bigger problem on your hands than not funding. So, so you're in a scenario where you've really got to look at how you're going to come out of the gate, doing the 6 figures, 100K. And that page has to convert from the traffic you send it. So, so you're there. I think just got to keep tweaking and you'll get there, man.
Great. Thanks. Appreciate it.
Cool. Awesome. All right, man. Well, if you have any other questions, you know where to find me. And man, I wish you a lot of luck. And I'll be watching on my end, and definitely let me know when the campaign launches, because I'll be a fan over here checking it out.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Awesome, man. Have a great day.
All right. Yeah, thanks, you too.